Dale Earnhardt is now your leader. One of the drivers said earlier in practice, it's not important who's in front of you. What's more important is who's behind you and whether he'll hook up with you and allow the two cars to run faster as a unit than one car can by itself.
Well, you notice on the screen, Bobby Labonte has lost the draft a little bit. He has to really pedal as hard as possible because he gets back just a little bit more. He would lose the draft, which is pulling him along, and then the other group would run him down. You go back real fast if you're running by yourself.
Dale Earnhardt with Jimmy Hensley right there. Good opportunity for Hensley to hook up with Earnhardt and pull away from young Bobby Labonte as well as the rest of the pack.
You know, the Jimmy Hensley car is flying, and Jimmy Hensley is an excellent race car driver. I heard this morning that that was the car that Robbie Moroso drove last year, that they bought some cars and motors. Maybe we could find out from the pits because Robbie Moroso sure dazzled them here in the past.
Young Robbie Moroso, the series champion at 21 years of age, not in the race today. He's concentrating on a Winston Cup effort, and you saw the interval back to the pack. Now at the front of that pack, I think we see Handsome Harry Gant moving up a little bit, but everybody is scattered around the racetrack. Look at the cars running side by side. The 44 is Bobby Labonte. Now, we talked with Labonte about being a rookie in this race, and we asked him, what are your expectations for the event?
I'm a rookie, got the yellow stripe, start behind two veterans that probably got more laps here than I've ever got. You know, if I can hang on to those guys, if they'll let me, if I can do it, you know, I'd like to learn from them for 300 miles. It wouldn't bother me none.
A regular short track winner up in North Carolina. His team is run by his father, Bobby.
And his big brother, Terry, is spotting for him, so you know that certainly helps. And, you know, he's just in a perfect situation to become a good race car driver.
Well, he may be in a good situation there, but he's kind of hung out to dry right now. There's your leader, number 3, Dale Earnhardt. Jimmy Hensley in 25 right behind him. And Bobby Labonte has now dropped a solid 10 car lengths back. So the breakaway is now 2. The Chevrolet of Dale Earnhardt and Jimmy Hensley, number 25, in an Oldsmobile. Olds and Buick seem to be the cars of choice here. Between them, they've got 26 cars in this 43-car field to go with 8 Chevys, 8 Pontiacs, and 1 lone Ford. And that is going to be the subject of some discussion, I would guess. Oh, trouble. I saw Waltrip 17 go out of the picture, but it looks like 22, Rick Mast involved in it. 99 in your foreground is Tommy Ellis, the 2-time series champ. We've got cars all over the racetrack.
Totally blocked down there. Everybody needs to stay high on the racetrack. This is where you need a spotter.
Serious accident down in turn number 4.
I don't think the legs were as hard as we had the other day. I feel people are pulling off now because most of the people were on the brakes when they were getting into that. The drivers just had nowhere to go. We see Jack Ingram in the number 11 Skoll car.
The number 30 is Mike Waltrip. Number 42 is Kyle Petty.
I think I see Kenny Wallace's car, Cox Wood Preservative.
31, Steve Grissom. Let's take another look at it and see if we can see how it got started. Watch the left side of your screen. 2 cars getting together, and then one gets sideways.
Looked like that was the Dale Jarrett car.
Brad Teague, I believe, the number 75, the black and orange car right at the middle of your screen, and he really...
Look how that racetrack is blocked. There's nowhere to go. Driving has nothing to do with it here. You're flying. There's just nowhere to go. Everything washes down, but people now have locked it up to try to miss the wreck, and you're just in jail. There goes Tommy Houston spinning down. There's the number 17, Darrell Waltrip, pulling out. 5 times the winner of this event, but it looks like he will not have a shot at it today. I thought he got out of it. There you see Jack Ingram, the Iron Man, 53 years of age, older than Richard Petty. Boy, what a way to start the year.
Neil Bonnet has caught up with Darrell Waltrip now.
Darrell, I know when you had to change motors, it put you back in a position you really didn't want to be in, and this is what always seems to happen. I know it happened for him, nothing you could do.
Yeah, well, I was sitting there thinking, you know, I don't like where I am, but if you go back, you get in more trouble. I don't know how I could get in anymore, but somehow or another, I thought this might happen, Neil. I just didn't have a good feeling about the race.
Well, you don't have to tell me you're not where you want to be. I knew where you wanted to be was up front, and the motor change gun and put you behind.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. We'll be better next time.
Darrell Waltrip out of it. There is Kyle Petty. 13 cars involved in that wreck altogether. That is a big one. That's Tommy Ellis next to him. What do you say, I wonder, when you walk up to another guy after a shemazel like that?
Well, I saw Mike. What happens is two cars to get together, and because of the speeds, it just took out 13 race cars. Nobody had anywhere to go. It shoots up the racetrack. There's a real hard lick. You can see the 42 car has the rear end almost knocked off of it.
And a lot of the top runners, Kenny Wallace, Tommy Ellis, Kyle Petty, 13 cars in total. We're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back to sort it out when we return to Daytona. Well, we've all just taken a deep breath here at Daytona after an enormous accident in the treacherous fourth turn of the 2.5-mile speedway. Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. Dale Earnhardt, who made the pass just before that crash, has got Jimmy Hensley behind him, Bobby Labonte, the three cars that broke away early. Harry Gant now moves up into the fourth spot, followed by Sterling Marlin. Now we'll take another look at what just happened. It looked like a couple of cars were running up front, and the 75 machine of Brad Teague to the left of your screen doing battle with the 32 car of Dale Jarrett. Watch the black and orange car. There is contact, and then Teague gets a little
I'm not sure there was contact. It may be, but it looked like Brad just got loose, and then maybe the air got off of his spoiler, but he goes right back in front. Watch it go up the track, entirely block the racetrack, and where can you go? I mean, everybody's going close to 195 miles an hour or so, and there's just nowhere to go.
Pick your favorite. There's a lot of them in there in this 13-car wreck. Darrell Waltrip, after he got clipped, he got together with Kenny Schrader. In this mess, Tommy Ellis, Kyle Petty, Rick Mast, Michael Waltrip, Jack Ingram. Many of the top stars of this race. Jeff Purvis in there, Chuck Bound, Frank Fleming, who was making his first start in this race. Dave Rezendes in there as well. A big shemazel. This one is certainly going to take some time to clean up. I see Tommy Houston's car in there as well, the number 6. Houston, who got so close to his first championship in this series last year before he had a couple of breakdowns in 2 out of the last 3 races, and was eked out by Rob Moroso. There you see the number 31 on the flatbed, Steve Grissom, who had such great hopes for this race. Let's go down to pit side now and Neil Bonnet.
You were down here with Rick Mast, and the worst thing that can happen on one of these big tracks is a big clogged-up racetrack. What happened out there, Rick?
Neil, I had just caught this long, big pack of cars. I just fell in the back of them. You know, we started so far back, we came up through the field. I felt good. The Raven Bucks Buick was just going flawlessly. I got to this pack, and I said, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit here and ride or try to get through it? So I was going to try to get through it. About that time, a black car up front, I'm not sure if it was LD Darrell or Brad Teague, one of the cars turned sideways. What precipitated it, I don't know. But when that started, there's just no hope for anybody. It's all in God's hands. I hope everybody's okay.
That's great. Are you going to be able to get back in or y'all out of it?
No way.
Well, it's a good thing you're in good shape. Good to see you.
Thank you.
We should report that
Steve Burns now.
Neil, I'm with Rusty Wallace, Winston Cup champion. Rusty owns Kenny Wallace's car. Rusty, what sort of damage report has Kenny given you?
They just called in and said that the front end's messed up pretty good and the left rear quarter panel's bashed up pretty good. So we're going to come in, put a new rear end in it, try to clean it up, get it fixed up so we'll go back for some points.
Rusty, does Kenny think he can drive it?
What'd you say?
Does Kenny think he can still drive it?
He thinks he can still drive it. You know, he's not talking. Red Dog, the spotter on top of the truck's telling me everything that's going on right now. The biggest thing is get the car positioned in here so we can work on it. That's what they're trying to get done right now.
Thank you, Rusty.
Thank you.
Now keep in mind that this is a race within a race. In addition to all the Winston Cup drivers in this field, the Busch Grand National guys have a 31 race schedule ahead of them. This is just the beginning, and they are racing against each other for those precious series points.
Sure, and they have to fix that car if they can, because there's probably 9 of those cars are terminal. So if you could get out and just run 2 more laps, you could beat 9 cars and pick up all those positions for points.
$426,000 plus at stake. The field has been sadly reduced, but there is plenty of action still to come. A great race, the Goody's 300, and we'll be back to pick up the action when the track is cleared after this. Stay with us.